Strength training is a vital component to a good workout routine that will help you get fit, lose weight, and rev up your metabolism. The fitness nomad John Ashworth is in tonight with the top 5 ways to build strength. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you, Lee.
Point number 1, master the big 4 movements. What are the big 4?
Right. The big 4 are squats, shoulder press, deadlift, and bench press. And these are big muscle group exercises, so they work the big muscle groups of the body. Important to hit those when you're in a strength building mode. Also important to point out, you're always building a combination of strength and endurance. But periodically throughout the year, you need to really focus on strength and growth in the muscles.
Periodically, how often?
4 times a year.
Okay, so every season?
About every season, you should go through a 2 to 4 week training period where you're really keeping the reps low, weight high, a lot of intensity, a lot of volume of training.
That leads us into point number 2. Use barbells.
Right. Barbells are an important tool because it allows you to load up more weight and still lift it. You can only go so high when you're working with dumbbells before you completely lose control and they might fall on the floor or fall on you. So the barbells really allow you to load up.
For people who don't know, what's the difference between a barbell and a dumbbell?
Well, the barbell is the big long bar that you can put weight on the ends and hold it on there. And the dumbbells, of course, are the things you hold one
little hand weights.
Yeah, I forgot my props today. I apologize.
But just so you have that clear, that there is the difference. A lot of, I think, women too shy away maybe from the barbells because it seems like there are these guys, always using them. But it is great to include that. And that also makes me want to point out, too, about the heavier lifting. That's not something that women should be afraid of.
No, not at all. A lot of women do shy away from it, and it's important to remember that it's all relative. So we go off something called repetition maximum. So when you're strength building, you're doing a 5 RM, which means you're picking weights you can only lift 5 times.
And that's point number 3, think 5. And you're talking about the RM there.
Right, exactly. So you want to pick a weight that you can lift about 5 times and not many more with good technique, but that's it. So it's pretty heavy. And
not be afraid that you're going to bulk up because you're not.
Right, no, you don't have enough testosterone to bulk up.
If you were going to work with me, what would you put me at, say, for a bicep curl? I'm just wondering, to give people a little perspective here.
For a bicep curl, a 5 RM for you might be a 15-pound dumbbell. How about
I'll have to try that and see if I can handle it. Okay, point number 4. When you're talking about these strength building cycles, so you're doing them 4 times a year, also think interval training.
Interval training, right. Long periods of aerobic exercise actually undermine your body's ability to build strength and to build muscle, because when you're doing long distance aerobic activity, an hour and 15 minutes, your body's releasing hormones that actually break down muscle tissue. So you want to do short, high intensity bouts of cardiovascular exercise when you're in your strength building, growth building modes.
And finally, balance your training.
That's right. So it's this simple. Okay, ready?
Okay.
For every push, there's a pull. Especially when you're building strength and growth, you're going very heavy. You don't want to do too much pushing, and you'll end up like a hunched old man.
Because you have all the muscle here, but no muscle in the back.
Nothing in the back.
Which is why you do abs and you do back exercises, right?
Right. So you want to work opposing muscle groups all the time. For every push, there's a pull. For every upper body, there's a lower body.
It's like when I do biceps, speaking of, then you do the tricep, right?
That's right.
Got it. See, it's that simple. And if you would like to read John's blog titled 5 Ways to Build Strength and Why It's Important to Do It 4 times a year, as he mentioned, just log on to our web channel, NBC15.com, and click on News Links. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend.
You too, Lee.